Hey everybody, in today's video, we're going to talk about how to build self-worth and stop seeking external validation. Let's go. So, there are 3 points that I want you folks to keep in mind as you listen to this video. One is that self-worth deepens when it comes from inner truth rather than external approval. And I've spoken about this topic before when we talk about the ego. I believe that we were born with our ego in order to come to understand contrasts in the world so we can decide how we want to act, what our passion in life is. But at some point, it no longer serves us. And so this is what I'm talking about in terms of self-worth. This is a very important point that I think if you're interested in reaching the dreams that you're looking for, you have to shift yourself and start loving yourself. Self worth has all to do with abundance. This is the crux of my book, and that is the more self worth you have, the more you can accept, the more you're, as some people call their internal container or money container, the more that expands. If you don't have self worth, you don't believe that you deserve certain things. So you have to work on that and look at all your past issues the challenges that you had, re-evaluate them and change them into things that you find that will be empowering. And by that, you gain self-worth and self-love for yourself. Second point, the ego seeks validation from outside. Purpose invites inward alignment. I've talked about this in terms of the difference in the ego and getting on purpose, looking inward. Instead of trying to impress other people, you want to express who you really are. What is that inner purpose that you are working towards, that you found in your Ikigai in video 5, and that you're working to unveil yourself in this new identity? Finally, honoring your journey builds respect for yourself from the lived experience. I've mentioned this before, but writing down in your journal all the things that you've done in your lifetime is very helpful because it shows to you that all the things you've been through, that you've overcome, especially those issues that you've had problems with, that you've overcome. All right, let's get on to the PowerPoint slides that I've made. First one is the main points to remember that I want you folks to remember that external validation creates fragile self-worth. When you keep looking outside, when you keep looking to see how you compare with other people, am I receiving enough income like my the associates in my same team? Do I have enough a nice car? Do I have the nice house? All of these put a strain on your self worth when you compare yourself with others. I mean, I've experienced it myself when I've gone to high school reunions, and I think, what am I doing? These people are so ahead of me. Second thing, ego compares, performs, and measures worth by reactions from others. True. And finally, purpose offers a quieter path rooted in honesty, integrity, and meaning. Some key takeaways that I want you folks to understand is ego is like a noisy highway of comparison and competition. It's like this crowded highway going super fast. You may be going fast, but where are you going? It's all these billboards of comparison and am I doing well? How do I measure up to other people? This is what the highway is. And what I'm hoping for is that you choose to take this quieter road that leads towards alignment and peace. I tell people that when I look back at my life, I've taken the road less traveled. And it involved a lot of detours and it involved a lot of stopping at roadside distractions, not attractions, but stopping at roadside distractions. And I'll tell you that it's made my life much fuller and much more complete. And so I urge you, don't be afraid to take that unfamiliar road. And then for the practice for the week, I want you to ask yourself some questions. Ask yourself, who is driving? If you're on this highway and you're driving this car, who is the one is it driving? Is it your ego driving this, your decisions that you're making? Are you looking to impress other people or is it purpose driving? Are you moving in the direction that makes you feel complete? The things that you really, really want to do in life. This is why it's so, so important to work out your ikigai back in video 5, work that out and come out with a statement of that. Secondly, honor your lived journey, the one that your life so far. Reflect on what you have survived. You know, I think that this sentence or this point is so important because it's the challenges in life that we come out of the darkness and into the light again. Whether it's the death of a friend or a relative, the death of a child or whatever. Once you come out onto the other side, surviving that, like being an alcoholic or whatever, you change. You shift yourself, and that's why it's so important to look back and see these things and see them as gifts, see them as things that you have overcome in your life, and by doing so, by noticing where you have shown courage, love, or integrity, and recognize how your hardships shaped your wisdom and compassion, you'll be much better off. Number 3 is to choose a smaller and kinder audience. So open up to yourself. This is what journaling is. Open up to that inner self of open up to a few trusted people. This may not even be your family or your spouse. They might be the most critical. And then finally, spirit, source, or divine love, if that fits whatever you believe in. I want you to pull out your journal and ask yourself these questions. Where am I still on Eagles Highway? Am I still on it? Have I left? Have I gone on the unfamiliar road, less traveled? What does the purpose road look like for me now, if you're on the purpose road? What have I survived that once felt impossible? Really, really important. This question out of everything is really important. What words of appreciation do I need to offer myself? How many people have come through being an alcoholic and survived? You talk to a lot of people about that, and they are so grateful. I came through homelessness. May not seem very much to some people, may seem a lot. I don't know. I talk about other people who have done it, who experienced it over years, whereas I only had done it for 10 months. And I say 10 only, but it definitely is a life changing experience that offers you a gift rather than a stigma in your life. And when you're able to articulate that to others, that is when you're free. When you open yourself up to being exposed, Open yourself up to the real person that you really are. Okay, so the final slide is some of the work that I want you to do in the roadmap. Track your moments when ego or purpose was leading. Figure out which one is going, which one is driving the car. Reflect on the past roads you've walked and the lessons learned. And then write the appreciation and validation you want to hear. Make up these this dialogue for yourself. What do you really want to hear? Stop berating yourself and stop writing down things or telling yourself you're not good enough. You can change by changing how you approach things. And one of the most important things that's let me just say that is the beauty of being able to make a choice of how you want to approach things and how you want to come to things. We are given this ability to shift, to tell ourselves, just like in the last video, to tell ourselves small little lies, which to me are ways of rewriting your past. Use the past as a way of those gifts that you had, but at the same time, if you are burdened by them, the shift in seeing how they are positive matters is actually rewriting your experience. Anyways, so what I want to do is I want to just tell you all, let me look at my notes here, that your worth is rooted in who you are and what you have lived, nothing else. Doesn't have anything to do with how much you own, what kind of car you drive, or you think you own your car and your house with a big mortgage and a big loan. I want you to remember that greatness is not something that you have to prove. It's just something that you have to remember in yourself. If you have to change that perspective, do so and keep reminding yourself of who you are, this kind of person. Once you get onto your purpose, you realize that since you're not competing with anybody anymore, this is the direction. And the more glorious you make it, the better. Now, don't get me wrong. You can live a great life just by taking care of one person your entire life. Maybe raise as a parent. That is a noble thing to do, to be able to help some other human being. This is what we're talking about, is the ability to find what really is in you to motivate to go out and do, so that you love yourself, so that you gain this self-worth. And by doing so, you go out and inspire others to do the same. That's all it is. Just remember your worth is rooted in your life experiences, and who you are. And how you interpret them is an important key. So go off and start finding ways to express that inner joy, that inner you to others, rather than trying to impress them. Until next time, thanks, and sign up for the Abundant Soul Roadmap if you haven't, and I'll see you next time.